Buddy, welcome back. We are doing Coffee Connection this morning with us.
No.
This is Doubleshot Espresso. That's right. Sorry. My bad.
So all the chaos today, you already know what is happening in the studio.
Yes, it is I, Shan Ali Moladina, who is the host of Mind Over Music, taking over for Ayesha Ji and Tasneem on Doubleshot Espresso this morning. We have a really fun and exciting episode this morning. We're going to be doing an episode around 20 questions, which is really, really exciting.
Yes.
We're going to be taping all of this. We're on Facebook Live as well. We are on the Radio Azad.
We are on our YouTube channel live, not on Facebook.
Oh, okay. YouTube channel. Yes. So check out our YouTube channel. And
it's the Radio Azad team YouTube channel. But first of all, listeners, please tell us if you can hear us properly. And the studio phone number is 972-501-9390. Actually, I want you to put the volume of mic 2 and mic 3 up just a bit.
Just a little bit more.
Yes,
gotcha.
Thank you so much. It is the other side of the story, the male perspective, and the entire male gender is now going to be represented by
this guy.
Yes.
unless there are a few men who are listening or more and want to call in and join the gang.
Yeah, I'm like an unfair representative. I'll tell you why. Let me give you guys some context. The idea here is that I was raised by 4 women.
Oh.
So I'm going to be a little bit more biased toward women, and I'm a little bit more empathetic toward the idea of women having a very equal footing and setting in society in general.
But trust me, our questions are off that and within that 4. So I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunity to dwell into that male mind of yours as well.
Yes.
That male mind of yours.
Well,
Shan, I'll tell you something. You're the most fun person in our whole team. No occasion is complete without you. No birthday celebration is complete without your bars. Yes.
Did you know that I didn't know the words to that song until you guys corrected me?
Oh, really? You used to sing your own thing?
I used to say bada bada din ye aaye, bada bada din ye jaye.
Oh.
Not dil ye gaye.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't know the words.
You wish them and then you unwish them.
Just say, this day comes and goes, man. Life goes on with or without you, right?
It makes perfect sense.
It does make perfect sense in my mind.
Yes, absolutely. Who cares about words, right? They're just words.
They are just words. And today is just going to be a bunch of words. ChatGPT will take it.
It's the male perspective. So we're going to throw some questions at Shan, and he's going to give us an insight into the male perspective.
Yes.
You're not allowed to ask us any questions back. We're just setting the rules here.
I'm going to ask so many questions back, but I'll sneak it in. Don't worry. It'll be a conversation. That's how conversations go. It's a dialogue.
And listeners, you are welcome. We have Shan on the hot seat. Literally, he's taken over mic 1. I kept saying, can I please sit on mic 1? He's like, no, this is the seat I'm going to be on.
I'm going to mess this up so bad, which is great. It's funny.
No, you'll be better than me. Trust me.
Oh my God.
Me sitting there.
Do you know what's funny?
I have broken things in the studio.
Aisha Ji hasn't even suggested that you take mic 1.
Yes. Yes, that should speak volumes.
For me, that was like, okay.
That's not happening.
Yes.
We want to do the show.
We want to do other shows after the show also.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It's best that you're there.
I love this.
Yes. Okay. So we hear that you are a closet listener to Doubleshot Espresso.
I love it. Yeah. Every single clip. I try to watch every single clip. I actually watch your clips more than I watch Azad Bai's clips. And Azad Bai like really sends all of his clips out. And he's like, hey, watch this. Tell me what you think and all this. But you guys are just so naturally, amazingly, your chemistry is just really natural. And I really enjoy the points that you guys make are so I guess they cover such a broad perspective of thought and idea, and so you can tell that you guys really put a lot of time and effort into building the content of the show, which I love.
Thank you. We have 2 hours. Keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we can start off with the first question. Tasneem.
Shall I take it?
Yes. Please.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So my first question for you, Shan, is that, we did a show last week on friendships and we thought of you then. And so my question to you is that, do you think men have fewer close relationships or friendships than women, or there's just that you have different kinds of friendship. Like we want that attachment and we want that love and warmth and camaraderie. Are y'all more superficial, or you two male friends bond deeply?
It's so interesting because I don't think like over history, evolutionarily, that we actually needed deeper friendships, right? When you think about how women and the dynamic of women between other women, you're raising children, you're creating a community, you're creating family. Men never had to do that. They had to go hunt, kill the thing, make sure that, you got each other's back in that moment. And then you go back home and that's it, right? So, but women are raising families. They have to really trust each other, and they have to trust the content, the environment, what their children are learning. Men never have to think that deep, right? And so I feel like, from a evolutionary standpoint, from a communal standpoint, the way that we build communities, women just have to think about it in such a different way, right? And that creates this deeper sense of wanting to connect, wanting to understand how you think, why you think the way that you think, what you're saying, your body language. All of these things are just so much more, it's just so much more important for women to think through those things, right?
But for men?
So men, I don't know if men are in tune with that as much, right? I think men, it's not that they don't care, they just haven't had to care throughout history. Right? Throughout the evolution of man, are we going to be able to do the thing that we're trying to do? So men make a lot of great friends when it comes to gaming, for example, like they're online gaming, they're like creating community to hit an objective. So they're playing Call of Duty together, or they're playing like a strategy game together where they're trying to accomplish something, just like when they're going out and trying to hunt down that deer or whatever it might be to feed the community. It's very objective based, and so you don't really have to get that deep in those conversations.
But do you wish that they would be deeper? You guys are okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we, ICG was telling me last night, like, when are you starting Night Owls again? The thing is that the reason why men are so lonely today is because we don't have those deep connections. We don't have the ability to think and connect deeply with one another. I mean, you have two sons. I mean, you see the dynamic between Azad and Giannis, right? Like the way that we are able to have these discussions and be vulnerable with one another is just not available to us most of the time.
I think you mentioned a very good word, and that is vulnerability, right?
Yeah.
So is it that something comes in the way of men being vulnerable with other men? What is that?
Yeah, it's just not something that's comfortable. Right. So I feel a lot of times men are able to speak about certain things together that's acceptable to one another. But when men are vulnerable, a little too vulnerable, it looks like weakness. And then you don't want them to be a part of the tribe anymore, because it's like, oh, that's a weak man. He's not going to be able to get to that objective. He's not going to be able to hit the strategy the right way. The way to actually support a man and to be able to stand up for another man, to believe in another man, those things just don't happen as often. Everyone has to stand by themselves, for themselves, on that podium, get first place, get that gold prize, and then prove yourself to other men so that you can lead other men. And there's no room for that conversation. There's no room for that vulnerability. It's really interesting.
आप लोग का क्या ख्याल है? Shan, what is this? You've come onto the show and we haven't received a single call as yet.
Yeah, well, I think it's because I speak too much English.
9725019390 है स्टूडियो का नंबर. आप लोग भी कॉल कर सकते हैं और बता सकते हैं, do you agree or disagree? What do you think is the most unspoken rule of male friendships?
Oh my gosh. I think it's okay, it's really funny because Kevin Hart talks about this a lot, and he says, hey, he called, there's one time where his wife was asking him what he did the night before, and he calls one of his best friends on speakerphone, and he said, hey, Henry, don't lie, which means lie. So the idea was, so it's loyalty, right? The idea is, have my back and make sure that whatever moves I'm making, that you're helping to protect
support
me
those
and support me. And that's also something that I look for in a relationship. It's as I'm making certain moves, or if I'm doing something, it's like whatever I'm doing, the dynamic of whatever situation, and you guys know I get us in crazy situations. How do we get out of the situation? How do we get through the situation? But just have my back through it.
Yeah.
Tell us about these moves.
Well, like let's say, for example,
No, don't tell us. It's a PG show.
Oh, no. Like let's say like we like, miss a flight or something like that. The idea is we say, on the way from the airport, we took an Uber and the Uber got a flat tire, so we couldn't help it. And so that changes the conversation so that we can get compensation, for example, for the flight that we missed. All right. So we do have a caller. All right. Caller, you are live on Radio Azad. Doubleshot Espresso.
Phone. No.
Oops, phone. Here you go. All right. You're live.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
You're live on the air?
Oh, okay. Ayesha, Tasneem and Shan.
Yes.
I am watching you on the YouTube also.
Oh,
Okay.
that's great.
And और आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक आ रही है.
Perfect.
And I think Shan I agree with him. For men, it's a little bit different. Because जो मेरा बेटा है, तो
जी, आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, yes.
Yes. तो आपका बेटा है और
हाँ जी, मेरा बेटा जो है, he plays online, and I think he has more friendships online than personal interaction में. Because like for men, I think that trust is also, trust हमारे लिए भी बहुत important है. लेकिन if once their trust is broken, it is hard for them to have sincere friendships.
Wow.
And he has found some, and when I watch his games and he's playing, and he's interacting with other people, I see they talk about, like sometimes they talk about their past, like they are doing counseling with each other. They are vulnerable, sharing things with each other also. Even though they don't know them personally, face to face, but they have developed that friendship online.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
I think that is like in हमारे लिए as women, we need more touch. We need more, hugs, or we need more reassurance that okay, you are there for us. But
Yeah.
they can, I guess, just pick up the phone or get online, and they can form a good friendship.
Brilliant.
Very true.
Brilliant.
Great. Good point. Very good point. Thank you, Shahida ji.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Shadi.
You're welcome.
Which is so true, because we were just talking on the show last time that I had actually had a girlfriend who used to ghost me ever so often. Like she would disappear for like 5-6 months and then reappear and then be a part of my life. We'd be talking, we would hang out 2-3 months. Again, she would just disappear, no reply to my text, nothing. And she always had a reason when she came back, which seemed very valid, that, this catastrophe happened, or I traveled and this happened. So much, yes, for months. And so much so that like, just 2 years ago, I finally cut that friendship off. So does something like that would it matter to you guys? Or is it okay for people to like just kind of vamoose on you, come back, reappear, and you can pick up?
Men do that. That's very common for men. I feel like that's very strange for a woman when you're reaching
Yeah.
out several times. But for a man, that it doesn't matter.
That's all the
'Cause,
time.
Yeah, because what connection do you really have that you care about a man's day-to-day activities? Barely ever. like oh my god, like if I for example, like me and Azad Bhai have a good relationship, right? Like I think I'm really, as a man, I'm really well connected to Azad Bhai, more so than any other men on the Radio Azad team. If I don't talk to Azad Bhai for 6 months, it doesn't matter. Like I have no idea what he's doing on a daily basis. But if I called him, I was like, "What did you do yesterday?" He would be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, get out of my face, right? And so and the same with me. It's like, I'm traveling all over the world. I'm doing all these things. The only people that actually care about me while I'm traveling, honestly, are women, right? Like, even Tasneem was like, "Are you back from all of your
Yeah.
travels? Like, what's going on? Like, where did you go? How did you?" no man asks me like, did you enjoy Croatia? Unless they're going to Croatia and they're like, hey, give me some suggestions on where to go and what to do, right? But aside from that, it doesn't matter at all. It's so funny. But it's interesting because while I'm hearing your story, Tasneem, I'm just like, how could she not respond to you for several months? But for a guy, like, there's men that I haven't talked to in years, and if I just pick up the phone and talk to them now, it's like not a day has gone
changed.
by. Nothing changed. All right, live. You're live on Radio Azad.
Well, yeah. Hello, Radio Azad. You're on the air.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Umair. Kya haal hai sabke? How are you?
Very good.
Welcome, Umair.
Great topic. Fun discussion. But Shan, mere bhai, kaise ho?
Umair bhai, you didn't even like check up on me while I'm doing my travels. Like, what's going on?
That's what we do, man. We're males. That's what we do. We don't check up on things like that, dude. But I got a very interesting question for you, Shan.
Please.
Since you are representing the males, right? So, question ye hai, of course, you have, we're talking about male friendships. You have, I'm sure, a lot of male friends. So, or hamara kya, especially Desis ka, we roast each other a lot, right? We pull each other's leg around. A lot, the friends.
Yeah.
Where is that limit? Roasting ki. Sometimes you have friends that there is no limit. Sometimes you have friends that okay यार ये इतना limit है, उसके बाद roast करूँगा तो उसको बुरी लग जाएगी, या मामला serious हो जाएगा, या मामला कोई मसला हो जाएगा. What do you think about that? Roasting जो है for friends, how does that go? Where is that limit?
I need you to stay on the phone with this because the thing is that you know me very well, right? And you know that I have zero limits, right? Like for me, like especially when you think about like and you've been on the team meetings and all that stuff. Like when Azad Bhai is like roasting me and he's getting upset with, I went this far. My closest friends, I told them if I used to ride a motorcycle. And I said, if I ever get into a motorcycle crash and I become paralyzed and I'm not unable to talk, I need you guys to just come to the hospital just to make fun of me. And if I have a tear coming down the side of my eye, it's because I'm laughing so hard about how ironic this situation is that just don't stop. And so that's how men actually like think about caring for each other, is that there is no. I think that the closer your bond is, the more you can take from other people to know that they're not attacking you personally, that they care about you, that they love you, and it's coming from a good place. And if not, you force it to come from a good place. I don't know. That's how I manipulated Umair. Like, what about you? Like, and dude, you and Uzair probably have the same dynamic, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I agree with you on that. And me being my best friend is Uzair, right? He's my brother as well as my best friend. Of course, we are twins, so we have that kind of a different chemistry.
Yeah.
In terms of friendship and stuff, and we have roasted each other in situations where you would never imagine, right?
But does that mean that I'm going to interrupt you here, Umair and Shan? The question is for both of you. That what about men being sensitive? Does this not bother you?
It does. Yes, it does. It does bother us as well. I think so. Well, majority of us, I believe. That's why I said I think there's a limit to every joke or every roast or something like that.
So good. So now my question here is, how do you ascertain that limit? Yes. What do you see or feel in that moment that makes you feel that okay, I need to stop, or this needs to stop? And does it depend on who is roasting?
Being a friend, right? If I'm roasting my friend, if I know him well, I can tell from his expression that, okay, maybe it's getting a little too much. Maybe he's getting annoyed by my jokes, or I need to stop, right? Or if he's a really, really good friend of mine, he'll just be straight with me and say, okay, you know what, it's enough. I'm done for today, right? Or something like that. And I'll be like, okay, cool, So friendships like this, you can be straightforward with them, and they can be straightforward with you. And then also you can just read their face and say, okay, you know what, it's a bit annoying. Maybe he's not liking it. Let's just stop. So that's where I think the line comes, where you can draw the line as well.
So men also are sensitive.
And does it get awkward after that? Like you stop.
But they are.
you stop, and then what? Does it get awkward, or do you just go back to being friends, or then you just
No,
kind of?
it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Especially for best friends, no, it doesn't get awkward at all. You just, and then there's been situations where after a half hour or so, you find that situation where you can make fun of him again, and you do that. Or sometimes you're like, you know what?
You just go right back in.
Fine. But that's what happens too with friends.
One of the things we talked about last show was having different friends, like in female friendships, different friends for different purposes.
Absolutely.
So is that the same with men as well? You have cricket friends, you have football friends.
Yes, I do have friends that I play cricket with. I do have friends that I go out, maybe hang out with to restaurants or something like that. I mean, I do that with cricket friends too. So yes, there's different activities that you do, and you make different friends over there. Some friends are completely mutual, where you're playing cricket with them as well. You're hanging out with them on other things as well. But yes, absolutely, there are certain friends that you hang out with them only for when that particular activity happens, right? For example, if I'm going for a cricket practice, I know they are my friends. I know them very well, but I only meet them once a week because I'm just playing cricket with them.
Mm-hmm.
But then within those friends, there are a few who I've been into their house, they've been to my house, we hang out apart from cricket as well. So that's a little different relationship from a friendship point of view.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thank you, Umair, for calling in.
You're the best, man.
Of course,
And this studio wouldn't be what it is without you and the Zoom. So thank you.
No, man, it's all you, bro. It's all you.
I love you, man. I love you. All
Right.
right. Yeah. It's really interesting because like men's friendships are so dynamic. But whenever a man, at least for me, whenever a man gets sensitive, that is the moment that you know that he hasn't worked on that thing that he's sensitive about. And so whenever I think about it, or whenever I have those conversations, it's like, oh, I need to back off because he hasn't put enough thought or perspective back into this. He hasn't worked on it yet. So, and for me, I'm so lucky that I grew up in an era where I got bullied and I got the tough love, and everything I did was never good enough. And so, I never got the participation trophies. I never got the, oh my gosh, like you did such a good job, right? So, it's interesting that we have that dynamic within our friendships. All right, Radio Azad, you're live. Hello.
Hi, Shan.
Hi.
Hi, Ayesha ji. Hi, Tasneem.
Hi.
Hello.
So, my question for Shan.
Yes.
So, are men gossip monger?
What a great
Hold on. What kind of gossip are we talking about?
Women are gossip mongers. What do you think about the man?
What a great question, Ritu.
Yeah. So Ritu, give me an example, because I know that there's a specific thing that you have in mind about what we gossip about. What do you think that men gossip about?
The gossip part, like anything, the other men and under their story, they tell you it goes, the other your friends, you guys share like that.
Or women, women that
or
you've
you have a
seen
sense
dating.
that somewhat you can't digest and you have to tell somebody.
I love this, Ritu. This is such a good question. Okay. Do you want to stay on, or should I?
No, you can.
Okay.
Ritu,
Ritu, all right, listen in. All right, so this is so funny. There's levels to this.
Oh.
Okay. And the men that are super close, right? Like for example, like me and Nazish, or like me and Moiz, right? Jiju. I tell him everything that I'm thinking, right? 98% of men keep everything very tight-lipped, because when you think about what you say about somebody, it really is a reflection on you. And so that level of loyalty and trust, men think about that. It's like, if you're saying this about this person, you're definitely going to say something about me. So men are very tight-lipped compared to women, where the more information you share, the more information you have, and then you're able to inform yourself when you get into certain situations. Guys don't do that. Guys are like, hey, he'll figure it out, he'll learn it. And so, and it comes back to loyalty. And so men feel like if you are sharing too much information, that you're going to be disloyal to them. So they don't actually gossip as much, because it's what they call bro code.
Yeah. And I think gossip doesn't really get men more friends, whereas many times gossip sometimes in certain circles does get women more eyeballs because of just that sharing.
They're plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like people who gossip the most are very it's seen as something that's not only disloyal, but like men who gossip more are usually not straight men, right? They're not heterosexual male. And so that is also a thing that like guys are like, no, we don't like this. We don't want this. You know what I mean? So they push it away. Heterosexual males push that away because it's like something that is not familiar to them.
Right. Mhm.
Tell me something about how men listen to women. Okay.
Ever? Or
I really want to understand this.
this is so
Okay.
good. You know what's really crazy? You know what this whole episode is? Is
What?
you giving me a platform to mansplain everything,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Why do you
This
think we
never-
have you there and
This
sitting
never
by
happens.
yourself?
This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity that I'm able to do this. Okay. So
Yes.
sorry.
So, men and listening. Okay.
Or lack of. Zero.
Or lack of, or how you all listen. Do you listen to just provide a solution?
That's it.
Why can't you just listen and empathize, which is what women want?
So men are just not programmed that way, right? Men are the only value, and this is really interesting because now we're getting to an era where women and men are making the same amount of money, they have the same level of education. More often than not, women are more educated and have more experience and are making more money than many men. And one thing that men have just always been constantly trained on is how do you solve the problem? Get to the problem, solve the problem.
Mhm.
And so the way that evolutionarily a man is put into any situation is all they're listening for is what is the problem so I can go do the thing. So the problem is we are hungry, go hunt. Got it. Okay, I got that. Okay, all right. So you're hungry and I need to go do the thing. And then everything else is about the skill of doing the thing. And can you then be better skilled than every other person in that tribe so that you are more evolutionarily prepared to train your child, to train the community, to train the, whatever it might be, so that your genes will pass on. This is all very evolutionarily like embedded in our DNA. And so when you think about when a woman wants to just share information for the sake of sharing information, it is literally kryptonite to a man. they just can't handle it. And the reason why is because they're just not built that way. And so that's why Esther Perel talks about this. Do you know Esther Perel? She's like the relationship expert that came out of Stanford, and she just has these brilliant insights. And she said, well, now today's relationships is where you want your partner to be not only your romantic partner to like woo you, but also to be your best friend, to be your financial advisor, to do all of these different roles that a community used to do. And you want one person to do that. That's just so much pressure on one person. And to put that on a very simple brain of a man who's very skills oriented to a person who is very connection oriented is just an insane dynamic. And so, you have to think about, is it fair? Is it fair? I don't know if women think about this. What do you think? Is it fair that you are sharing this information to a person that cannot process it? Just because you love them and you trust them and you want to create more connection with them.
Yeah,
Right?
which actually brings me to, I think we had discussed this in one of our shows, where sometimes when you're asking your spouse or your partner the same thing again and again and again and again, and you're not getting it, it's time to pause and reflect that is it in the capacity of the person
Is
to
this
be
insanity?
able,
Right? To do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yes.
That's the question. And so if you, for example, were to go to Shad Bhai or whoever the partner might be, and you say, well, why don't we work on this skill together and see who could do this better? Oh my gosh, you're gonna have all of his attention.
The competition factor.
That's it. Because
Really?
that's what we want, right? That's why we're playing. That's why when we're quote unquote the most intimate on online games is while we're trying to go get that objective, because it's how many people did you virtually shoot? How many like points did you get? How many times did you hit the objective? And are you better than everybody else?
So if I were to go and tell Abdullah that let's see who's better at the listening game, you think he would like kind of double up?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
I
Wow.
want to try
I
that.
want to
That's
try
what you have to
that.
Yeah. Abdullah bhai, you're now in the you're now in the listening challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Who's the
Have you played have you done the thing where you guys kind of like going back and forth and you listen to one another in a dynamic way where you have to repeat what the other person
Like,
says?
yeah, where you paraphrase and you
Yeah.
summarize. And
Oh, I think I'd be terrible at that. Seriously. Who's the friend you'd call at 3 a.m. and why?
You know.
Yeah,
You know who it
I
is.
know.
Yeah.
I've broken my shoulder.
Ah.
I'm in Mexico. I'm like, Shan, go to a hospital.
You know that's still there. We should, but it didn't create any
Oh my
long-term problems.
God.
So yeah, so it's Ayesha Ji. No, but I did call Ayesha Ji when I got into a motorcycle accident in Mexico at 3 a.m, which is really funny. Yeah, but it's obviously it's Moyes, man, and I'm so lucky that it's not just because he's a good human being, but he's a part of the family, and I never got that because after my dad passed away, the family completely broke apart. And you think about an uneducated Pakistani woman that doesn't speak really good English and just getting isolated from the rest of the family for a little bit. Nobody called me to wish me happy birthday. Nobody said Eid Mubarak. None of that. I just was cut off.
Mm.
And so were we. We felt cut off. Maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe my mom had a defense mechanism where she didn't want to rely on the family and she did her own thing. I don't know, right? That was her response. But what I experienced as a 7-year-old child was my family's not talking to me anymore, And so, you think about that, and to bring that family dynamic back now,
Yeah.
I think that my family is closer than ever. And that's all because Moyes, my Jiju, is willing to be there in every moment, financially, emotionally, intellectually, whatever it might be. Whatever I need, he's there, and he knows how important this is. And so we create this beautiful dynamic together. And so I'm so lucky to have Moyes in my life.
I think that's something very interesting that you talk about having a role model, right? How important is it for men to have that male role model in their life?
Guys, it's the only thing. It's the only thing. The thing that we're missing today is that men are not mentors. That's why we have mentors, right? Men are not mentors. Men are not coaching each other anymore. Men are not guiding each other anymore.
And why? Why is that?
Because women are so scared of other men that they protect their children against men. And so they don't allow each other to even socialize. If I am a man that is 10 years older than your child, or 20 years older than your child, you're not letting your son around me. You're definitely not letting your daughter around me for whatever reason, because you're saying, oh my gosh, I've been reading all these reports about all these dangerous men that are in society, and I don't want them around my child. Well, what does that do to these men? Maybe 2 or 3%, which is per century, right? 3 out of 100 are bad, right? Or maybe 15 of them, but 85 of them are great men that need to be able to coach,
nurture somebody else.
And you're now ostracizing them from society. Now they're lonely. They don't have a community. They don't have kids that they're looking after. I have so many godchildren that I love and I care about, and I wish them happy birthday. And I do all of these things, but I know how lucky I am that these parents trust me enough to be around these children. Most men don't have that charisma, that dynamic to say, I want to be around your kid in a non-threatening way, in a way that I can support them, in a way that I can just make sure that they're loved in case anything ever happens that you can't cover yourself. And that takes a lot of ego and pride for the parent to say, oh, you know what? Maybe Shan can be there in a way that I can't for my child in a special situation. Last night I had a good friend of mine who used to play football, and his son, Tyson, messaged me, and he's like, here's a link in case you want to send me some birthday money. That's what he said to me. And I said, Tyson, you're 17 years old, bro. You're 17. if money is the thing that you're thinking about right now, you got it all wrong. Money is the thing that's going to take you away from your discipline. And for me to be able to say that to him, his dad can't even. His dad must have said it to him 100 times. But for him to hear that from me is life-changing.
So much more impactful.
It's life-changing because it's like, oh, somebody else outside of my father's telling me this.
Yeah. And
someone that actually loves me. I'm 40 years old. And I, for a 17-year-old, that's like 3 lifetimes, right? That's like a grandfather. And so,
I think that's such a great point in our community. And I always say this, even for girls, for boys, they need to have a trusted adult outside of the family, outside of the parents, who they can confide in and they can go to and have a very open discussion. And have that.
Why?
No. I think
it's that. Maybe, I mean, there partly it's correct, but partly it's also because I feel we are living in such a world that, like, where you are the kind, or your Jiju is the kind who wants to make that time. I know a lot of men who don't want to make that
Push
time.
them.
Yeah. And society
Force
is
them.
becoming very fragmented and insular.
I, me, and mine, like the nuclear family concept is so rooted in our society today that I feel for a father to be that person to somebody outside of his own little nest, not all men, I feel, want to do that. So I could be wrong there as compared to what you're saying, but that's my perception.
But you think about the evolutionarily, like, DNA part of this, right? If they see a problem, if you present a problem, they will go fix it. Right. So any man that you want the attention of,
ask
for
them
your
with
child,
a problem.
You just present the problem. Say, hey, little Jimmy is just his hand-eye coordination is not there. He's just not kicking the ball right. Oh, okay. Well, I can coach him, and then he becomes his coach. All of a sudden, every weekend he's with Jimmy. You know what I mean? And he's like kicking the ball with him.
Yeah.
And so they just need a little problem to attach themselves to, and then.
So again, it's that whole objective thing that you were talking about in the beginning, like present the objective, present
the problem, make the man go solve it.
Okay, we have some amazing questions coming up. Let's take let's end that and then get to a song, and then we will get to a commercial break. We have Shan in the studio. Did you end the streaming?
Oh no, should I end it?
Yes,
Okay.
please.